Alright, you are back with comedian David Boyle and I'm quitting alcohol. So I think I mentioned my mate Izzy Ali yesterday. Mr. COVID, the COVID family. Captain Corona and his family. Firstly, before I start my racism, I just want to say Izzy Ali is one of my favourite people in comedy. He is one of the funniest guys out. If you want to hear a bit from Izzy Ali, go to my other podcast, the Oppression Chamber podcast. He's been on a bunch of times. The last episode he was on, I think it was called Isolate My Nuts. He talked about how he wants to go for a beer with the Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan and win the heart and mind of the Grand Wizard by letting him call him the N-word. I'm not too sure he knows how the Ku Klux Klan works. But anyway, I love the son of a bitch, but Jesus Christ, he could not be more African if he tried. This is the conversation I had with him today. He sends us a message going, by the way, I think my whole family has corona. I'm like, Jesus Christ. And he's like, yeah, last night my 19-year-old cousin passed away in his sleep. So we went over to pay our respects and the house was packed. When we were driving home, Mum's like, by the way, they all have corona. And I'm like, all right, that's a lot to take in. Firstly, how did your cousin die? He's like, he had a seizure during his afternoon nap. He kind of said it in a way that made you think that that's a common way to die in the Somalian community. Dying during your afternoon nap, which if you're gonna go, that's a good way to go. Go out fucking napping. So we're like, your family's fucked, man. Everyone's got corona, people are dying. This 19-year-old cousin's dead. Now he's definitely got corona because he would have been fucking kissing everyone in there. And he's like, for sure, man, it was fucking packed in there. The cops came and everything. They didn't give a fuck. The cops didn't care. So I'm like, sorry to hear about your cousin. That's fucking no good. I didn't actually say that, but people like empathy. They like people with empathy. So I'm just pretending to have a little bit. I didn't say anything about his cousin. I just continued saying, your family is fucked. And he goes, yeah, the problem is I've got a lot of family, so a lot of them are going to die. And he's like, my grandpa has all up 140 kids, grandkids, and great-grandkids. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I thought Indians were bad. This is ridiculous. Somalian Muslims are now ranked number 1. I'm like, Jesus Christ, your grandpa was a fucking goer. How many wives did he have? And he's like, my mum says he had 4. Some of them say he had 7, but all my uncles say he had 12 wives. 12 fucking wives. How does that even work? So he just gets all the bitches in the village and no one else gets any. Then he's like, my other cousins have 3 wives and 13 kids and shit like this. And I'm like, fucking hell. Some of the stereotypes are pretty bang on, aren't they? They're stereotypes for a reason. Like in Melbourne last week, they locked down some housing commission towers. And in these housing commission towers, it's mainly people of different ethnicities. Non-whites, let's put it that way. There's plenty of whites in there too, but the majority is like African and Asian and all that sort of shit. So everyone was getting fired up. It seemed like they were targeting a specific group of people. And one of Australia's politicians came out, a full racist bitch, Pauline Hanson. She's like, everyone in those towers is a fucking drug addict. They're all drug addicts. English isn't their first language. They're illiterate. They can't read the wash your hands signs. They don't follow the rules. They're spreading it amongst each other because they don't care. And even I was like, this racist fucking bitch. She's gone on national TV and she is just stereotyping and being overtly racist. I was offended. And then some of the shit Izzy's told me over the last week, I'm like, maybe Pauline Hanson had a couple of points. Then Izzy was like, my old drug dealer used to live in that building. I'm like, what party is Pauline Hanson in? If he keeps this up, she might be getting a fucking vote. Then I thought about it a little bit more and I remembered one of my mates lived in the towers and he was a fucking drug addict. And so was his mum. Those housing commission towers are fucked too. It's full ghetto out there. So I'm going to have to keep you updated on Izzy's family, how many deaths there are. I'll keep a death tally of his family. So far it's 3. He doesn't really seem that concerned either. I suppose once you get to 140 uncles and cousins and aunties and shit, You stop caring. Muhammad died. Which one? The good thing is once he returns a positive for COVID-19, I will now know someone personally who has it and I can monitor their health. Alright, that is it for tonight. Do us a favour and send in your fucked up Friday stories this week. You've got a few days, put pen to paper. Send them in to my social media, @Boyle Comedy on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. Subscribe to the podcast, share it around, see you the fuck later.